lemon pepper, and that's all I can smell. And I'm like, I hope I can start smelling these perfumes. Yay.
Okay, now can you see we are actually live? Number one, if it's just us, I'm happy as a
Oh,
clam.
I'm happy with that all the time. Just a power hour talking about perfumes. I'm good.
Okay, and then I mixed up a few because I start with one thing and then I did it, but I'm dying to a couple of yours I know.
A couple of yours I know.
Oh,
A couple of them I don't. Hey,
okay,
Holly.
hi. Oh, yay, Holly. I know we're gonna get some takers because I heard some people saying so.
Yep.
We'll oh, Justina, that's what I was gonna say. She said she was so excited.
Fragrance.
I did have to tell you, I'm gonna just start off with one thing because when I was in San Francisco, they had a Neiman Marcus. And I was going in there. Hi, Stephanie. I was going in there because I wanted to smell Paris patchouli or patchouli Paris.
Where is mine?
Because of you all. And then I ended up smelling a bunch of other things and I was channeling. I was like, they have a really fun perfume area.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of fell in love with a few things and need an intervention. So once we get on, I will talk. But
okay, anyway. Well, let's go ahead and talk about Paris patchouli.
Okay,
whatever it is. The new Guerlain. Which the second I heard this was happening, I was like, oh, this will be a must-have because it's patchouli.
Yep.
What do you think?
Well, I was thinking of you because I was like, well, for sure she has to get this, okay? Because, and I love Guerlain, like love. Mm-hmm. Do you? Like I'm having a little moment. Yeah. But this is something that I can appreciate, but it was not something I was like, oh my gosh.
I was
Justina's loving it. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
I just was disappointed. I don't know if it's because I had something else in mind of what I thought it was going to smell like because I had heard about it originally from a podcast. And then I got it and it just, I don't know. I don't know if it doesn't like my skin. It's not bad and it gets better. I remember texting you. It gets better as it dries down. But like the first 30 minutes of my skin, I just wasn't really into it. And then after that, I get like 30 good minutes and then it's gone.
Okay.
On me. Like it's not, and Guerlains don't have the best lasting power on me anyways. Some are better than others. And some are so good. I'll just spray every 2 hours and not care.
Regardless.
But this one, I was just a little underwhelmed.
And Justina, okay, wait.
Yeah, the dry down is way better.
That is, I thought you told me you didn't love it at first. Maybe I was wrong, but anyway, so Justina's a total like us.
Oh, okay. Tanya, Profumum patchouli. Yeah, no patchouli compares to that, in my opinion. No. I mean, that is like the quintessential best patchouli scent out there to me.
This is a different animal.
That is much brighter. It's not as deep. Yeah, it's very different.
Okay, I love it though. Okay, she says now she loves because I remember that she got it. We're all like, ooh, I was for sure you were buying it. And these are these really pricey ones that you really
so
have
like $360, $380 ones.
Yeah, like in the pretty these gorge. But I think Guerlain can be worth it. So that being said, so I'm glad to know she's saying that the dry down is beautiful.
It is.
It's already
and I'm not going to, Justine, I'm not giving up on it for sure. I'm going to let my decant sit for a while because a lot of times perfumes will get better as they sit. So I'm going to let it sit for a while. And then I'm definitely going to go back to it in a few weeks. And I'm not giving up on it for sure. But it just, I think it's because it's one of the first Guerlains that doesn't have the Guerlain DNA to my nose.
No, I didn't smell that.
And maybe
the dry down, I will say the dry down is really gorgeous.
Yeah, it's way better.
Yeah. But like did you find it almost, I don't know if I want to say screechy when it came out,
I texted you that. It was like a little like whoo, in your face when it just, and not, I like a good in your face, scent if it's the right one, but it was just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. Just what, but I'm not giving up on it.
Okay. Cool.
For
That's
sure.
not the one I was talking about. I was just opening up the forum. Since I had the little sale, the
Yes.
smelling thing.
All right, you want to start?
Okay. Well,
Okay.
because I actually, so then I was over at, the Guerlain, and I had like a lovely sales assistant who really knew how to work me because I was like, I want it all.
She's like, oh, she saw dollar signs when you walked
I
in.
mean, I was like, oh, except my husband's there, and whenever he's there, I'm not gonna be like, ooh, I'm just gonna splash out on,
Yeah.
You get it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I do have to say the one I wanted to talk about, since we're talking about fall. So first of all, this was the new fall release, but then I was kind of sniffing through all of them. Then I will tell you my intervention, but Fev Gourmand, like I literally, like I already have the Fev or the cocaine.
Gourmand cocaine.
Yes, which is the original.
Oh,
but I have to tell you, I freaking love the Fev Gourmand. I find it to be a little bit more chocolate forward. Like,
see, I find the other one to be more chocolate. I was just thinking in my head, I feel like Gourmand cocaine has more chocolate in it.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like it was more chocolatey. Let me see. I don't know. It just smelled so gorgeous. And I was like,
oh, it does smell good.
I want a bottle, even though I have some of the original. But here's the thing. My original is in the little beautiful bee, and I have to decant it. And I think it's gorgeous, but I'm saying the spraying amount of it, it was just, I wore it all over San Francisco. I was like, this is the best smelling.
It does smell good.
Is it?
No, it does smell good. And it's very similar, because I know people freaked out when they discontinued Gourmand cocaine, like, for rightly so. Like, this is very precious to me. I don't wear it as much as I want to because I'm scared of being out of it. Out of over 100 bottles, it's still Chad's favorite scent on me.
Yes.
So I'm like, I don't want to use it too much. This is a good replacement for it. Yes. I don't like it as much as the original, but it's not different enough for people to get mad about it. I don't think, you know what I mean? If they love the original.
And it has that one thing that I was writing the notes on. It says it's got honey, smoked tea, and rose. So it's this chocolatey floral, but then it's got that patchouli, which is addictive, and then this rum. And then you're right, my husband loved it. And I was like, I think you should buy this for me.
Yeah. Well, since you love it so
I was trying to be good, but then anyways, but I absolutely, like, I'm in love with it, because she then gave me like a bunch of samples, and I told her, oh, I have the original. But this has been like one of those, I just, when a fragrance just works on your chemistry, it makes you happy. It smells so good. It has a good scent trail. People say, oh, you smell good. Like, if it to me, it has all the qualities that we sort of want, and it makes me really happy.
Yeah. No, it's a gorgeous scent for sure.
Okay, then real quick, and then I promise I'm going to let you talk. But everybody, I need a intervention, because when I was at the Guerlain, I smelled the extraits, and
yes. Yeah.
Holy moly, because I didn't even want to smell them, because they're like $600, and I already love Guerlain. But I have to tell you, I smelled the vanilla. Oh my gosh. I really have to tell you, I was so bowled over. I really think that might be the best vanilla I've ever smelled. And I've smelled a ton.
Yeah.
And I know it for that price, but it was that good. And then the Tonka. Oh, I mean, so I was a little bit bowled away by those. I never wanted to smell them. And luckily I don't live in a city that sells them.
But you are on a computer where you can hit buy now. I think you'll end up having vanilla before it's over.
Okay, so I think, because I don't know about the justification for that, but I will say, you know how they do vanilla that good? Guerlain's vanilla.
That's kind of like the Guerlain DNA that I was talking about.
Yes, it's so good. So anyways, I've been very good. But then I was like, do I ask for that for Christmas? Nah, you know.
Yeah.
But it's on the brain. It has not left me.
Yeah.
Like, I can still tell you how it smelled and made me feel, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So
I don't think you need more justification than that. When to me, that's like a sign of a perfume that should be in your collection. When, like, for me, if I finish a decant and I
just thinking about it
and keep thinking about it and keep thinking about it, it means I really like that perfume, and it means that if I get the full bottle, I'm actually going to wear it.
Yes.
Right. And put it to good use, and it's going to be money well spent. It's not just going to sit in the closet.
So that may be something to put on holiday list. It just is, even I just kind of choke up. I already get a little bit like, woo, on the on this pricing.
Yes.
So I was like, you know, but anybody, if you've smelled it before, if you've ever got, I mean, I actually had to say, I was like, okay, wow. They really were.
I have yet to smell them,
So
because I would fall in love with them, but I know me, and I don't think I would ever get them. But I would think about them all the time.
Yes.
And then I would just be mad. So I'm like, maybe I really don't.
I think it's still on the brain, and that's what I'm saying. It's still something like, oh, but okay. Tell me your first one.
Okay, real quick. I'm going to answer Tanya's question before I forget. She said, were you saying Perfumum's brighter? No. Patchouli Paris Patchouli, or Patchouli Paris, is brighter than Perfumum Patchouli, which is a like deep earthy chocolatey patchouli. It is just straight patchouli. I don't get anything else from that. So all right, so kind of piggybacking on the, if I finish a decant and can't stop thinking about it, then I need to get more. And I did that with this fragrance, and I just got another decant, but I don't know why, because I really do need the full bottle. And this is something, a couple of these are ones that I've talked about before, but that just shows how much I love them. This is from Penhaligon's. I have two from Penhaligon's in this video, but this one is Omniscient Mr. Thompson. And it is the elephant bottle. Okay. What do they call those? That collection?
The library.
Yeah. Where they all have like a different animal head.
The portraits.
Yes, the portraits. Okay. So the last time I finished a 5 ml decant real fast, I got a 10 ml, and I just need to pull the trigger and buy the bottle, because the bottle itself is gorgeous. Again, like elephant head. I mean,
it's gorgeous. I thought you were getting that for this video. I thought we talked you into it.
No, remember when I put it on the list, you said, did you get it? I said, okay. I said, sorry, I got distracted by an email. I said, I had gotten another decant. But when I finish this, I'm not going to get another decant. I'm just going to get the bottle. This is one of 2 or 3 fragrances that I'm going to talk about that has a note that I swear I don't ever like, which is clearly not the case. Lavender is something I don't like. But I think that I just don't like the actual smell of lavender, like the essential oil smell or the candle smell, or I know I don't like that. But if it's good and nicely formulated in a fragrance, I tend to like it. And this is an iris lavender, just cozy. It is the most cozy scent I think I have in my whole collection. Scent that has a note of sesame in it. And I've talked about this before. The best way for me to describe this, if you've smelled Dior Homme Intense, okay, it's technically marketed for men, but a ton of people have it. It's really popular in that collection. I don't even know if they make it anymore. I think it might be discontinued. If you smelled that, this is very similar to that with a sesame note.
Ooh.
It's basically that plus sesame.
That sounds so good.
It is, again, probably, it's just so cozy. It is so, which makes it so perfect for this time of year. I don't think that I would wear this in the summer, like in the heat.
Okay.
I just think it's too cozy for that. I don't think it would shine as much.
This may be a
Have you never smelled this?
No, that's the one that I keep on thinking I need to. Okay, so let me ask you, do you remember Neutrogena, or it was something like that, sesame oil, or it might have been a different brand? I'm aging myself, but like,
yes, I do. Was it Neutrogena? I think it was
like Vitabath, or you know how that oil, it was that yummy oil. It was sesame oil. It was for our body.
Well, and that's the thing. If even like cooking sesame oil, if it's like a pure sesame oil, which I like, I know everybody's like no seed oils or whatever, but if you smell a sesame oil for cooking, it
has that toastiness.
It's toasty and almost like if you were roasting them in the oven and you walked in the house. Oh my goodness. It's so good. It's my favorite, even though I'm talking about another Penhaligon's. This is my favorite Penhaligon's. I have the favorite from them also, which is not even comparable as far as like what they smell like. But I've smelled quite a few of them, and this is still the best. Like, nothing gets cozier than this. So if you are an iris lover, if you like Dior Homme Intense, if you like cozy, it's not the longest lasting. I've sprayed it twice today. But I don't care again. And I literally just got this like last week. I'll be done with this in 2 weeks because when I start wearing it, I don't really want to wear anything else.
Hello. I'm loving how we've got some of people like us who are helping us out. They're like, you can get it at Selfridges and
Here's the thing. Selfridges US shipping costs went up so much. I don't want to pay it. I'm like, I'm like rebelling.
The good old days. I like changing constants too. The good old days have gone. That's what I laugh, because they used to not do the duties, and like I would be like, the perfumes are 100 or something less, but they're on to us now. Okay, I have to tell you, we're gonna make Mandy accountable because she needs this. If you have got another even if you ordered another, I know how much perfume you have. This is a yes.
I know. I agree. Because it is one of the only things I have gotten a second decant of.
Yes.
When I've finished. It's one of the few, let's be real, that I've actually finished a decant of.
Yeah.
I have so many. I'm like, so yeah, for sure. It's definitely a must. It's so good.
Okay. I'm so excited. I'm going to go to a new release then.
Okay.
And boop, I have the new Victoria Beckham 2150 Rêverie. We're kind of going into this vanilla zone, but okay, first of all, I love these little flasks. I am a sucker for packaging, but I think it kind of goes along, like the Mr. Thompson is like the most adorable, like that's a yes. So this is green. This is like
my favorite color.
Mandy, I was like, okay, so I was for sure this was going to be a Mandy A+, but we're not going to spoil anything. But I have to tell you, okay, so really cute packaging. This is green, not black. And okay, just going to read the notes first. And this is tobacco, plum, vanilla, cedarwood, and tonka. And like when I read all those notes, the only thing I was worried about, I'm not always somebody who loves tobacco on myself. It depends. It has to be, it just has to, I have to test. I've had some where it didn't work for me. But I was immediately like, oh my gosh, best blind buy ever. I love this one. And I was a little worried because I tend to go, I like unisex fragrances, but I'm a little more on the more feminine, like the ones I love the most. And I think this one is, I love it. I think it is like perfectly unisex. I like that plum note in here. It's an airiness. So here's the thing. It's not super dense. Were you expecting it to be? I think maybe from the notes, you might have been like, this is going to be a dense, woody vanilla. And it is, but it has this, I'm thinking of it as a little bit of a fairy tale dust.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah,
You know,
it's not dense at all.
barrier.
Like, and I really don't get much of the plum, to be honest.
No.
It's very vanilla tobacco, but
Yes.
not like Herod tobacco. And see, I'm someone who loves a masculine type
You
of
do.
scent. Like,
Yes.
absolutely love it. I don't dislike this.
No.
Okay. I don't dislike it. I think it's a very pretty, good scent that, again, is unisex. Like, I would totally be good with Chad wearing this. I just wasn't, I need to stop having expectations for a fragrance, I think. And this is my fault, nobody else's fault, because this is a good fragrance. I just feel like I've smelled it before, like a couple times over. And there's something in it that when I put it on my skin, I almost can't smell it anymore. I think I might be anosmic to something in it because I can smell it on paper. But when I first got it and put it on my skin, I remember I texted you and was like, I don't smell anything.
Yeah. And
but
I think I might have read a review of someone saying that too.
really,
I have not, I love it. And my husband asked me what I was wearing. Like he could smell it on me. So usually that's,
I think it's something that you just need to sample because from the two different ways that it's affected us, it matters the skin that it goes on. I really do feel like that. But on the paper, it reminds me of, is it Altair? How do you pronounce that?
Parfums de Marly.
Yes, the PDM
the orange one. The orange. Yeah.
It reminds me of that. And I remember I have a decan of that and I didn't dislike it at all. I just felt like, again, I had smelled it before.
Did you feel like that one had citrus in it or am I confusing it? No. I'm thinking of that yellow one.
Oh yeah, I haven't smelled the yellow one.
Okay, so
definitely not bad. I just think, and it's easy to get samples of these, especially if you shop at Victoria Beckham, because you can just add it. A lot of times they just put it in your thing or you can add it when you check out.
And I actually have to say I was kind of good because I had ordered an eyeliner and got the sample and liked it. And then
so yes. Okay. That's good. So not a total
this is an improvement. Speaking of, did you see they have I'm waiting for it to be delivered right now, that pretty purple orchid.
Yes, I almost bought it, but I was like, you know what? I'm really trying to hold off and buy and wait till Black Friday sales.
Oh,
I have a whole list of things on my notes on my laptop of sites to check out during Black Friday because I'm almost out of my liners that I use of hers in my kit. I need to repurchase anyways, but I'm like, I'm going to hold off.
I was out of our favorite. We both are cinnamon girls.
Oh yeah. I'm almost out of that.
Cinnamon is my favorite. So I was like, I'm getting the new orchid one.
Yes.
So I'm just going to say I'm very happy with this. I love it. I did wonder when I smelled this if it wasn't going to have enough of that oomph for you. And I'm saying it in a good way.
No, I know. I totally get what you're saying. And if anybody else has any indication of the kind of scents that I like, they probably get what you're saying too. And it's not bad. I don't hate it. I'm not like, you know, it's not like one of those. Trust me. I would say if it was one of those. It's not. Okay. I have been on a myrrh kick lately.
Yes.
I love myrrh so much. I think it has kicked one of my top 5 notes out and is now in my top 5. There is not really a perfume that I have tried yet that has that note, at least as a prominent note that I haven't liked.
Yep.
This one, I don't know that I've talked about it. It's from one of my favorite houses of all time, Perfumum Roma. I have 2 of those in this list too. This one, I don't think I've talked about enough. It's Batito Dali or Dali.
Yeah,
okay?
I don't.
This one isn't talked about enough, period, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It is in true Profumum Roma fashion. It doesn't have but like 5 or 6 notes. 5. African orange flower, myrrh, vanilla, cacao, and coconut.
Ooh.
Which you're thinking coconut. This is a fall, you know, it's not a summer coconut. In fact, the coconut is in the background helping the myrrh stand out. This is a myrrh and vanilla fragrance with a backdrop of the coconut and the cacao. I don't smell floral notes in this, personally, which again takes it from not being, you know, like too summery. I mean, myrrh. I meant to look up before I got on, and then I got into talk. How you describe what it's a resin.
Yep.
And I'm trying to see how you describe what it smells like.
It's kind of magical, I think.
It really is. There is sometimes where it makes a scent smell like root beer.
Which is good.
There's something about it that can make it doesn't in this one. If you have smelled, I think it's in the Givenchy L'Entrée Rouge, which I'm pretty sure is discontinued. And that has a very strong undertone of root beer to me. This one just smells like a spicy, kind of sweet, but not like, yeah. Oh, it's just so good. It's really hard to explain. The Profumum Romas are very concentrated in oil, so they actually suggest you rub your wrists together and hand together wherever you apply it. And I do 2 sprays on each arm, rub it together. It lasts me all day long, and it is amazing. If you think you like myrrh, you need to get your hands on this. Warm, spicy, and slightly smoky odor. I don't like the word odor. It makes it sound like it smells bad.
Odor has a negative context.
Yeah. Some say it has a balsamic, slightly spicy, slightly smoky, dried earth. If you can't tell, I really like the earthy, like the patchouli and it's often compared to frankincense. Myrrh is more earthy. Yeah.
I want to smell that one. I think it's not at my local place because I wanted to go get that on your list. You know how I have that, but I don't have it.
And honestly, I don't hear this house talked about enough anyways, but when I do hear it talked about, this is not the one that I hear talked about.
I was going to say, I feel like they carry the popular, because you have a few really of the unique ones. And I think that I'm going to go and smell it. And then I'm like, oh.
It's like you hear about Confetto and Cerezo and Vanitas and that kind of stuff. You don't hear about all the ones that I love the most because they're different and they just smell so good. I'm telling you, if you like a spicy type of fragrance, and trust me, I've got another one that's nothing but spice. This is definitely one to get your nose on. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I love that this house offers so many different sizes. I do have Rock the Myrrh. I got a decant of it. I love it too. Yes. And I was able to find a decant of the discontinued Armani Myrrh Imperial.
I was going to say, I remember that one.
This was very expensive decant, but I wanted to smell it so bad and I love it. It's discontinued. But yeah, myrrh is like, that's my thing right now.
I love it. Don't you love like the phases? I mean, part of the fun of perfume is like we go through, the different phases. And when you're like, I'm in the myrrh, I was like, ooh.
Yes. And I have been that's like my note of the year, basically. It's like, I've been trying to find some of the best myrrh fragrances.
And I really like that Dries Van. That would be a fun one to do.
Yeah, it would. Cause I haven't smelled it.
And those bottles too are really cute.
I have to turn a fan on, y'all. I think I'm having a hot flash. Go ahead.
This is why I love you.
I'm not kidding. My chin's getting like sweaty. Oh man. Okay. Carry on.
Okay. So I have a little nostalgic perfume. Like my very first, I think it was my very first niche brand that I purchased, was Byredo. And I think it was either Mojave Ghost. This one's like an empty, or it was Gypsy Water. I don't know. That was like my very first like entree. We're talking, I don't want to age myself, but I remember being like, ooh. So this one is sort of like nostalgia, but they had this new version. of Byredo Mojave Ghost, and this is the Absolute version. And it's kind of interesting because they're launching it around Halloween, and it sort of has this like.
Is it the top looks different? Is it like
yes, it's like this. As I'm saying, it almost looks sort of like a little Halloween. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't even have anything to do with Halloween, but it's very different. Okay. So I was like, having kind of fun at the little Byredo. And I was like, oh, this brings back such good vibes to me because it was, I literally have a teeny weeny bit from like, it's an empty dead one. So obviously that's good. But Byredo, like the Mojave Ghost fragrances, or Byredo can sometimes have that longevity problem. Like I love Ball de Freak, I love a lot of those, but I mean, I do feel like I need the body lotion, and I'm somebody who doesn't mind spraying more throughout the day, but I understand if you're going to spend X amount, you would like it to last for somewhat, unless you're just so in love with it. But this one is Ambrette Sapadilla. If anybody smelled the original one, there's a little bit of have you smelled this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sandalwood. It has that note of violet in here, musk, amber, and cedarwood. So it's kind of like this kind of cozy. Ambrette to me sort of has like a coziness, cleansy. It kind of has a little bit of a clean note, I feel like. So this one is denser because it's Absolute. It is fruitier. It is definitely longer lasting, and it's kind of less shampoo-y than the first one. If does anybody, how it kind of had that,
not as fresh kind of.
Yeah, how this one had like good shampoo, yummy vibes to it. Sometimes you just want like a daily, easy go-to fragrance that you're just going to spray on, smell good. Maybe it's not super complex or anything like that, but you smell good. So this one has some legs to it. It's going to give you the longevity if you're a fan, and I'm hoping that they come out with this version in Ball de Freak. Like I love that fragrance so much.
Did they do extracts and everything, or just a couple to start with?
This is the only one I've seen in the Absolute. And it's a little different.
It's darker, it looks like.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a color to it. And I don't know. Anyways, this one I told her, I was like, we each always say we get to buy one perfume for one or two. I don't know. for the lives.
Or 3 or 4.
And then I was like, okay, I'm being drawn to this again, but it's purely like I feel good everyday perfume. And I really have to tell you, I think I like that little bit more denser. I think I like it's definitely a little fruitier, but it dries down lovely. And I think it just has the longevity. It has the legs. So if you are a fan of the Mojave Ghost, but you're like, oh, I'm not going to spend the money on those because they never last, I feel like they did accomplish something there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll continue on with the other ones. What's the my favorite Byredo? I don't own any full bottles, but my favorite out of all the multiple times that I've smelled them in store is it Palo Santo?
Yes.
Is that one? Yes. Is that what it's called? That's my favorite one. If they do that one in an Absolute, I may be tempted to get that. The only reason I don't have it is because of the longevity.
Yep. That's what I'm saying is so that one, and it kind of had a cute little or a weird little cap.
It has a witch's hat. Some kind of Halloween something, right?
I don't know. But anyways, that was kind of my
hilarious
fun one.
Okay. Let's talk about one that I know I've never talked about on camera before. I've had it for probably a year now. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this one is probably the most patchouli forward out of all the ones I'm going to talk about. And it's from the brand Epico. Yes. It's not like the little thing on the O, y'all. It's from Epico. This is Otello. Oh, and I love the bottle. Do you what?
I remember.
Didn't I send you some of that?
Yes, you
Do you
did.
still have it?
I have a little Mandy bag. I need to go grab that.
Okay, this one is like everything I love about a perfume. It has chili pepper on the top, which I'm like, I don't know what that adds because I can't smell a distinctive chili pepper smell. It has cardamom, which I love, mandarin orange, cacao, hazelnut, driftwood, patchouli, vanilla. This is basically it's a patchouli with a undertone of nuttiness from the hazelnut, but it's not it's not too much. It's just a really pretty woody vanilla patchouli.
Is this, would you say, in the earthy, like what in the
I think because it's got the cacao and the vanilla in it, it leans more of the chocolatey patchouli, right? Because that's kind of helping it stay a little bit on the sweeter side. It's not like dank. I mean, I even like some of those like dirty patchoulis, you know, like I'm okay with that. This is not it. It's just really pretty. It's not in your face either. Like I wore it the other day. I think I sprayed like 6 sprays and it wasn't like I walked into the kitchen and Chad wasn't like, whoa, what are you wearing? And if it was overpowering, he would ask that, whether he liked it or not. You know, he may love it and still be like, whoa, what are you wearing? It wasn't like that. I don't know. It just smells like it smells woody to me, but not in the sense that it has woody notes. It's kind of like I'm sitting in the woods. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That kind of woody to me, which I love those kind of fragrances too. But yeah, definitely the most patchouli forward, not the dirty, danky earth patchouli.
That's what I.
Yeah, the more chocolatey patchouli, but you've got to like patchouli regardless because it does come through in this, but it's really nicely mixed with all those other notes.
I think that bottle is gorgeous.
The bottle's beautiful. The only thing I don't like, I have another one from them, Vanille Noir, and the bottles are just identical. And I love the bottle, but I like to be able to tell like which one. I want to be able to pick it up and know, but I have to really look on the label to see. And but yeah, other than that, it's really pretty.
My eyeballs don't work anymore. We need.
It's the reason. Look, my eye doctor tripled my prescription.
Well, you're good for wearing your glasses.
Well, because I can't see without him anymore hardly. If I can see far, I'm farsighted, so I can see far away. But if I'm on the computer or reading, I have to have him on. He's like, oh yeah, and I can also see cataracts, so you won't make it out of your 50s without the surgery. I'm like, what?
No,
thank you, lovely. So
I do think that we got a kind of Bardopia said, I wonder if perfumers elaborate on some notes to seem unusual or like certain notes in wine. I definitely think there's like that artistry. And you also can tell in some perfumes. I laugh because there's like that, especially in the niche land, you know what I mean? Like they will open up unique, interesting, but then ultimately it's gonna dry down to something
you've smelled before. Yeah.
Yes. Does that make sense? So yeah, I definitely think that that's true.
Kind of like the chili pepper in that one.
Yes. Yes. Chili pepper.
It doesn't make sense. I don't smell it. I don't smell anything that would have anything to do with that. Like, but yeah, they put it in there, I guess. Makes them feel better.
I'm so excited because this next one I feel like could potentially be a MANDY. I feel like I may be shifting in to a slightly woody.
You're coming over to the dark side, aren't you?
I'm coming maybe just a little bit. But okay, this brand Lee or Lease is kind of taking. It's funny because I first was introduced to these perfumes in LA at a little boutique and they hadn't kind of exploded yet. Beau is one of their.
Yeah, that's the only one I've smelled.
Okay, Beau. Yeah. And now I'm seeing them like all over the place and at a lot of little perfumeries. This one is called In This World. Okay. And this to me sort of made me laugh because I live in the Pacific Northwest. And so think of trees and you know, we got a lot of that earthiness. You got to come. We could do some earthy stuff.
All about the earthy stuff.
Bandon, you would love like Bandon, Oregon, because it's basically like, what's not Ireland, but Scotland.
Scotland, yeah. Anything that's like that, I'm there.
So this one is a green, woody, figgy, fresh scent. So there's a couple notes I'm not sure about, but okay. So eucalyptus.
I love eucalyptus.
So think about, you're going to, you know, really open up your passages. Blood orange. Okay. So not too citrusy. It's kind of more of that, you know, blood orange is that little sour, I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
Fig.
Okay.
This is where I was going to lose you, but I think now that you're open to lavender, you might see. So
as long as it's not like the essential oil lavender, right?
No. Okay. This is kind of like, we're still in the Pacific Northwest. There's, and then violet. Okay. So a little bit of floral in here. Sage.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. We got woody and then tonka bean. So
that sounds really good, actually.
This one, I don't know, it made me laugh. I was like, this is Portland in a bottle. Maybe I should say I need it to be not like Portland, the city. I think we have to go out a little bit where, you know, we're surrounded green. Yeah. Nature. And this is not normally like, you know, I was kind of like, I think I like this, but it was addictive. Okay. And I couldn't figure out why. And I don't know if it's the eucalyptus.
Yeah.
It does have a little bit of a clean girl vibe to it.
The bottle sure does. The bottles look very clean girl, like white t-shirt type.
And this is a clean perfume. But I have to tell you, the longevity of this one, it's pretty long lasting. A lot of times when they're the clean perfumes, they don't, you know, sustain as long. But this one, if you're somebody who does like Bal de Freak, but you kind of want to be like when you were saying you were going out into the forest. We're going to go hiking. This is what you're going to wear on the hike. You're going to smell like, if you have been outside, I used to love when my kids would come back from like camp outside. Like if you hugged them, they just smell like the outdoors and that the trees. And I just, oh yeah. Okay. Yes. She lives in Portland too.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I think that is so cool. So anyways, I have to tell you, this one with this eucalyptus, I'm coming over into this I've been a little bit more in this earthy side. I maybe it's the cozy sweater, all of that, but I wouldn't say like if Bal de Freak has a little bit more floral, that's where I would say this one's a little bit more like a forest fairy. You know what I mean? Like
sounds like my kind of,
yeah. So, and I think that sage, I don't know. It's really, it's an awesome woody.
I need to see if they have a discovery set for that line, because I've been interested in some other scents.
And I feel like you'd love Beau. Like Beau is definitely.
Yeah, I have smelled Beau, and I feel like maybe there's one that starts with an L, but then there's also another house that has very similar bottles to that, and I get them mixed up. So that might be the L one that I'm thinking of, but I need to check and see. And they have discovery sets.
They just launched one called Shoo.
Isn't there a Westman Atelier blush called Shoo?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Sorry, guys. There's a new little perfume store that just opened downtown, a little niche place.
Yeah.
You know, if you were going to come, we'd have to go. But so I was able to smell Shoo there. And you know, that accidental vanille, that one that has Styrex in it.
Yeah. I have a decant somewhere.
Okay. That one, it had that kind of, I don't know. It's kind of waxy vanilla. I don't know. Anyways, that's a new release, but I definitely feel like this brand is having a little moment.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah.
And I have to say, this one I've had for a while. I was like, I haven't shared it. I haven't been like,
I need to, I definitely need to smell that and others from that line for sure.
Oh, good. I love this. Okay.
All right, I'm going to talk about one very quickly because this is a repeat. I've talked about it so many times because it is in my top 5. And I've talked about before how this is, if you could take everything that I love about a perfume and put it in a bottle, it would be this bottle. It's like like you were saying, Portland in a perfume. This is like Mandy in a perfume. So I'm not going to wax poetic about it. But this is also from Profumum Roma. And this is D'Incanto.
Yes.
D'Incanto. It's kind of like that Disney movie, Encanto. I don't know. D-I-N-C-A-N-T-O. C-A-N-T-O. C-A-N-T-O.
I love it.
I just don't know how to explain this.
This is you in a bottle.
It is everything I love about fragrance. The only thing it doesn't have in here is some kind of alcohol note.
Yep.
Some kind of boozy note, but it still gives that feeling, you know, when everything's blended down. It is also patchouli. It is also myrrh. I get more myrrh than I get patchouli, but they complement each other better in this perfume than I've ever smelled in one. Vanilla, gardenia, jasmine, mandarin orange, cedar, gaiac wood, and tonka bean.
Yum.
It's the most amount of notes, to my knowledge, that they've ever put in a perfume. And people were like, oh, I don't know. This is like not what you're known for. I honestly cannot explain this. Have you smelled it yet?
Yes, I have a little.
Okay. How? Because I sent you some, didn't I? I don't know how to explain it.
I feel like I want to say the word camphor, but I don't know if that's, I want to say we're definitely out in the forest.
It's so good.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like we are out. It is like, I know when I say camphor, like at least on me, I was like, woo, it gives you, when you put it on your body, it really transports you some. I think for me, it was like the most transformative, that Profumo. I literally was like, wow, this one
is the most unique one out of all of them. 100% the most unique one. It is one that when I got a decan of it, I sprayed it one time and immediately, I didn't even wear it for an hour and immediately went on and bought the full bottle.
Yep.
Which I don't know that I've ever done so quickly. And this is one that shines.
Told me to run over and we were like, you need to go smell it right then and there. Like that's how much it has. That's what I would say it is. It has that big of an impact.
No other fragrance has, I don't think.
What about your patchouli
the patchouli magnetic is still probably, they're probably tied for my top spot.
Yep.
Patchouli magnetic is not a mass appealing fragrance. And honestly, this isn't going to be either. I don't go for those. That's not what my nose really likes. I tend to like things that smell different.
Yeah.
And, you know, deep and y'all, it is, I just can't. I don't get as excited talking about any other fragrance than I do this one. It is hands down the best. It shines in fall and winter, but I personally wear it all year round. I don't care if the heat index is 110. I will wear this. It's so good. Please just get your nose on it and tell me what you think. Even if you hate it, I want to know.
I think that's okay. Well, because then I was just in Carmel like 2 weekends ago. Someone's living there and it's reminiscent of Big Sur. Like when you're there, it's like the fog rolls in and you definitely smell the trees and the ocean and the earth. And it's like, I love that zone of the world because it, I think you do too.
I love the forest.
Yes.
Like, plain and simple. I love the forest. I love being in the forest. I love smelling the forest. And if you put a big dose of patchouli and rum in it, then, you know, I'm good.
You know what? If we were going to do, that would be your perfume. And then I'd have to put a little rum or whiskey in that.
Whiskey.
And then
whiskey does go better with the forest. 100%.
Yeah. That's what, I don't know. Okay. I also think it would be fun to like do like areas and then like what that perfume would be like, if that, you know what I mean? Like when I'm having like.
Okay, so I just thought about something totally random. It's not random because it's perfume related, but I got an email from Experimental Perfume Club. Yeah. Have you ever? Okay, they have started their mail-in perfume course again. Oh. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, first of all, it's like $2,200. Okay, so it's an investment, but they send you every single thing you would need to make your own perfume, and they have online courses that go with it.
How cool would that
I'm
be?
like, okay, let's get to a point where we both get that, and then we do like vlogs on our process of making
Creations.
our perfume, and then talk about the final result.
Because we do have a little place where you can go create your own perfume, but it's a lot of the oils.
Yes, this
And
is like
I
they
want to
send
do
you
perfume. Does
they
that make
send you the
sense?
beakers and the
Yes.
scales and like oh yeah, it's like it's legit. I'm like, or you know what, we could just fly to London and do it there. There's another thing we could do.
I would like that. I'm really
That's
digging
where
this.
that's where they're located, and they have courses that you can take there.
I feel like this, for our own mental health, they were just saying how it's so good to like take on, like, learn how to do an instrument, and we can learn how to make perfume.
Make our own perfume. I think it's a great idea.
Okay. I love this. Okay. I was going to move on to something that made, okay. Because we got into the earthiness. I'm really feeling the vibes here tonight. Okay. This one, I'm going back into fall and a little bit into gourmand land here. Okay, but I kind of want to go to this Boozy one first.
Okay.
I do want to talk about that one, but I did get a sample of I got a sample of Old Fashioned. This is Angel's Share, but I just wanted to bring the bottle.
I've got Angel's Share.
Because when I smelled Old Fashioned, all I could think about was MANDY. Because
I need to smell it.
It looks, I know. Okay. So number one, you love Angel's Share.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the problem is Angel's Share, has this, we love it.
Yeah.
And so these other ones that are coming out, it needs to top it.
Yep.
Kind of. And so it smells like an Old Fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
It's super boozy.
Yeah.
It smells good. Let me see. I have the little here it is, guys. But did I immediately be like, it's better than this? It wasn't, not for myself, but I was like, I do want you to get your nose on this.
I do need to smell it.
Whoa, this is like whiskey, or like this is booze. I mean, they all are, but this one doesn't. It dries down, so it smells so yummy. And like, I'm laughing because my purse it sprayed it, and then I had a thing, and my whole purse smells like it. In a good way. But I don't think this is going to top. I don't think it's going to take away my love for this. And I think that was it. But I did want to mention, maybe if you don't like this and you are a booze hound like MANDY.
I wonder if it's similar. Have you smelled Byredo?
It's a little bit, yes.
Is it similar to that?
Yes. I would put
that's probably my favorite whiskey fragrance.
I feel like that's why I was saying I kind of want you to smell this, because I actually don't know if you're gonna like want to get a bottle, but I want you to just smell
I definitely still want to smell it for sure.
And the dry down, as usual, of boozy fragrances. It starts out like a strong, like I could be pulled over.
Yep.
And be like, I don't drink. I really don't.
Right. I know. I don't either. I mean, I don't either. I just love to smell it. I just love the smell.
But anyways, new release. If anybody is interested, I don't feel like, how like when this one.
Oh yeah. Everybody talked about it. Yeah.
And then everybody's talking about it. It was sold out. Like I was having FOMO. I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to get it. I think that ship has sailed, but this is really good. I mean, it's a solid launch.
Good deal. I do need to get my nose on it. I do. Okay. I'm going to talk about the last decaf that I have. And this is another one that I've never talked about on my channel. I'm trying to get to this is the one that I was saying is spicy. Ooh. Like you have to like spicy, and it is different. Okay. This is also from Penhaligon's, and it is Legacy of Petra.
Oh.
Okay. So This one, have you ever smelled this one?
No, but
Okay.
yep.
So this is the different.
I've heard of it.
So see, it's a different bottle.
Yep.
You know, they have all these different like collections. It's kind of been that. The main accords: amber, soft, spicy, warm, spicy, balsamic, sweet. I don't agree with vanilla, woody, fresh, spicy. You see all the spices that are on the accords.
Spicy.
It has green tea, fennel, bergamot, licorice, myrrh, olibanum, rosemary, benzoin, vanilla, and woody notes.
Yum.
And this to me is like you took all of that and shoved it in a pot and stirred it up and let it simmer. That's what it smells like. There's not one thing that stands out above another. A lot of people in the reviews said that the licorice was too much for them and it knocked them down. I don't smell that. Like it's not something that's, I smell the licorice, but it's not overwhelming. Okay. And I don't feel like I'm wearing straight licorice, right?
Yes.
It is. It's a warm, spicy fragrance, very unisex. Like this, there's not anything that is overly feminine and there's not anything that's overly masculine. Although probably some people would say it's more masculine than feminine. I would say that.
Okay.
Like, to me, it's not overly, it's not like, oh, I'm sitting here wearing a man's perfume or, you know, fragrance. It's not that. But I do think that if we were tipping the scales, it probably would be a little heavier on the masculine side.
The licorice is sounding appealing to me right now.
I definitely smell the myrrh, but it's all of those spices. But then I think the tea note helps kind of smooth it out some. Mm-hmm. It's good because again, there's not anything I can smell most of those notes. The fennel, I can't really smell. Some people might be able to pick that out. I can't really smell that. And the rosemary is not too much either because I'm not necessarily a rosemary fan. Not even like, I don't really like to eat it either. But this one, it's very smooth, very well mixed, very well balanced. But you have to like spicy. You have to like myrrh. And you have to be okay with it not being like overtly feminine.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you don't like something that could even kind of smell like it's masculine, then you're not going to like this.
Have you smelled their Cairo?
I smelled it, but I don't remember it.
And then what about they have that Halfeti?
I have smelled the Halfeti. I didn't love that. What was it that was that was a little too much? Now, granted, this was when I was in Scotland and was smelling everything they had.
And you might
started to all smell the same.
Yeah, you weren't into your, you know how that's what I was saying. We go into different phases.
I wasn't necessarily in my, because I remember that's where I bought the favorite.
Yeah,
was there, which is absolutely nothing. Like, I need to smell Halfeti again because I'm looking at it and I love Artemisia.
That's like, what I felt like that one was when you, I don't know. I feel like that was one that you would like, but maybe
it has grapefruit. Is that really, maybe that's why I don't like grapefruit.
I know you don't. It's going to open a little bit. Like it has a little, but I felt like it balanced out.
I have a discovery set from them. I need to pull it out and see if
I was going to say it's kind of usually in one of their sets.
Yeah. But this one's never talked about. I never ever hear it talked about. And it's a standout to me. And there now, is it as good as Omniscient Mr. Thompson? Absolutely not. There is not a Penhaligon's it is, but it's also not.
Does leans more masculine. Okay, but
is the grapefruit really, Stasia, is the grapefruit really like prominent? Because if it's not, then I'm going to try to get my nose on it again. Because all the other notes look like it's something I would like.
Okay, I love it.
All right, what's next for you?
Okay, what do you have? Because I have one. How many more do you have?
I have two, but one of them I don't even think I'm going to talk about much at all because I've talked
I'll do quick, and then I have two samples from Balmain that just launched their fragrances, and I'm just I got to smell them at Neiman's, so I thought I would just talk about it real quick. But not to her, it doesn't. The grapefruit.
Good. Okay. I'm definitely going to get my
I'm never going to send you like a big barrel of a little basket of great.
I'm not gonna say no to that. I never say no to fragrance.
Okay, real quick, and you've heard me talk about this before, but when we're thinking of tea scents and when I'm thinking of fall scents and kind of like gourmand tea, all of that, I do love this blue Madeleine from Atelier des Ors. Here, number one. Yep, it has these gorgeous bottles.
I love their bottles.
And the bottles, there's something about, I know this sounds funny, but they feel really awesome. Like whoever designed them.
It's almost like a stone.
It's so really beautiful.
Yeah.
And of course, the little experience here. But this one, their marketing is all about having a cup of tea and a Madeleine cookie. And if you've ever tried a Madeleine cookie, they're not too sweet. It's a little bite or a little biscuit. And this is a very, very soft gourmand. So I think, Mandy, like when I think of you, I think you would like this, but it's not going to have that.
It's not going
like,
to, it's not.
You know, yeah. I mean, not that, but okay. So it's had cinnamon, pink pepper, bergamot. It's got black tea, and then you're going to put a little bit of your milk in there. It's got rose, but it's not super strong. Like the first time I smelled it, I was like, oh, I like, you know, when you read the notes after you try it. So I always try to put stuff on my skin first. Lewd Finley, and then go and read the notes, because sometimes some things just, you know, stand out, and others I didn't realize that it had. I knew it had a little bit of floral in here. It's creamy sandalwood, balsam, and a little touch of praline. So there's just a little bit of sweetness, but very, very soft, gourmand. Like, to me, I feel like this is almost a safe buy for like somebody who likes soft gourmands. Like the tea in here, everything's just sort of mild and milky. It's like one of those cozy ones where I want to get in the blanket. I'm spraying this on and watching some awesome show. I don't know, you know, when you're addicted to a TV show. Nobody wants this. I love that show so much, but you don't think
I love that show.
Oh my gosh. It's like this, isn't it so good?
I mean, I watched it every time I got on the treadmill, and I think I was done in like 3 days.
I know, it made me so sad. I bet we all feel this way, but then when you binge something and then there's no more. And then it's,
and you're like, nothing's going to be that good. And you're like in a show slump. It's like first world problems, but.
This is side note, but I watched sort of a scary one. It's called The Other Woman or Another Woman. And it's a true story about a serial killer. It's on Netflix.
Okay. I love a true crime.
And I have to tell you though, I stayed up last night. I was like stressed for the, like, oh, is she going to get killed? I mean, like it was good. Like it was, it's new. Oh, I can't remember the actress, but it'll come up on your Netflix. So.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Especially now that we talked about it. Our phone.
Yes, everybody. Well, I was freaked out last night. I kind of was like, oh, I'm scared. Go ahead.
Okay. Have you smelled the brand new ones from Atelier?
No, but
I want to smell these so
do I.
They're only 2 notes. Each of them only have 2 notes.
I'm intrigued by, I think this is a really interesting brand. So I was like, oh my gosh, when I saw those, I was like, we got to get it.
I need so badly to get samples of those. Okay. The last 2, honestly, I'm going to put these 2 together because I've talked about them so much and I feel like we've been talking a lot.
Yep.
But they're just go-tos for me. Andrea Mack Pavilion.
Yep.
It's perfect for fall. It really is a year round, in my opinion, but it is the best rose oud fragrance I have ever smelled. And rose oud is done a lot.
Yes.
Like it's done a lot.
But it doesn't mean that it's bad. Like I still love a good rose oud. You just gotta find yours, you know.
Exactly. And I've said it a ton. This is a little bit of a dialed down version of Oud Satin Mood.
Yep.
Oud Satin Mood is gorgeous. But it was one spray was too much. Like I feel like I would knock someone down. Yep. This I can spray, and I don't knock anyone down. It's perfect. I love the bottle. I love the scent. It just shines in the fall to me. And then the other one is probably the most like OG of all the ones that I've talked about. I think I have had it the longest, and it's MFK Grand Soir.
Oh, love that one.
I mean, it's
that
just,
one.
I feel like it's something everybody needs to have in
Yeah.
their collection if you like an amber scent, because not only is it gorgeous on its own, but it's one of my favorites to layer.
It's the best layering.
I love layering this so much. I love layering it with sweet perfumes. I love layering it with floral perfumes. There's not anything it doesn't smell good with. And it smells really good on its own. But I just feel, I don't know, like it's like a powerful scent to me.
It's so awesome. It's like, that might have been one of my first ones I bought from them. Like, you know, it has like
I think it was the first full bottle. I bought some travels of Baccarat when everybody was talking about it. Now I'm like, I don't care if I ever smell that one again. Yeah. Oh, it's just, this never, ever gets old, and it gets darker the longer you have it.
Yeah, I was going to say mine's like really deep because it's old and it's
so good. And I use this a ton, and it doesn't look like I have. Like, it's going to last you forever.
And when it gets cool, like it literally, that's the one where I'm like, and you know what? It reminds me of Biscoff cookie.
Yes, it does.
It's not too sweet, but I'm saying it has that
smells good on everybody.
It does. That's
it's not one that like has to work specifically with your skin chemistry. It just, if you like an amber perfume, you're gonna love it. This and I say it every live. This and the marshmallow from Keith's.
You would be
one of the best layering combos ever.
I think somebody would eat you up with that.
I mean, I kind of want to eat my own arm if I'm going to be serious. Like,
okay, what's this Milky Dragon? I love A-Palm too. I almost bought it, Justina. That's the new
MFK
piece of me.
Yeah,
it has lavender. I wasn't sure if you were gonna.
That's why I haven't smelled it yet, but I need to be a little bit more open. Okay,
I'm gonna check out Milky Dragon. Okay, then real quick, I'm just gonna talk about. I did go smell the little Balmain perfumes. They had all the little things. I ended up really liking they gave me a sample of Ivoire. I think this is like their staple old school perfume, and it kind of smells like that, kind of nostalgic,
like almost.
Yeah, like you know, and I was like, I think this is their DNA, and this fragrance is kind of what I was gonna say. But the one that I was like kind of fell in love with was called Rouge. As the reason I thought you might like this, it's tuberose. Oh, it is solar notes, tuberose, turmeric. This is for the Ivoire.
How do you spell that? IVO?
Yeah, like I'm thinking of ivory, but I'm probably not pronouncing it. I apologize. Correctly. But okay, solar notes, tuberose, turmeric, orange blossom. Oh, you're not gonna like it. Grapefruit.
But is that like, if it's not
it's not super sharp, and then vetiver and suede.
Oh, it's got patchouli in it too. I'm looking.
Yep. And it's a floral, woody. I don't even, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of hard to even, to me, it feels a little old school in a good way.
Yeah.
Kind of like, you know, it has aldehydes, like it had that kind of, I think it's one of their original perfumes, but now they've put in a cuter, their bottle or whatever. Yeah. They're expensive, but anyways, I wasn't familiar. But this Rouge is an Asmanthus.
Okay.
Lily, ylang ylang, iris, wood, and if I can even get I don't know what I wrote down. I said it's kind of sweet and airy and floral and spellbinding. And this was one that I was like, is it unique enough to actually purchase? But it smells really good. Like
what makes it sweet?
Rouge. What's that?
What makes it sweet to you?
You know what? I want to say it's that Asmanthus, like that apricot. Do you know how that can kind of smell like apricot? It smells like
apricot to me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has, that's the sweetness of it, but it's not like, it kind of started a little like, ooh, this is kind of sweet, but it went really kind of dissipated. Yeah, it really is spelled like, it was one of those where it's still on my mind.
Yeah. So
And,
the
and it's
Fragrantica says it has Georgie wood in it.
yeah, Georgie wood.
What is Georgie wood? I've never seen that as a note.
What is the last one that has an M?
Magnolia.
Magnolia. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, it has an M. Okay. So it has a woody base, and the spell binding does like I was wondering if it was that lily, like that to me doesn't seem to have a strong fragrance, or if it was the osmanthus.
I bet it's the osmanthus. And maybe a little bit of the ylang ylang. Sometimes that can be.
She kind of told me like they had there's a green one, like they're supposed to be layered and all that, and they're like $300 a pop. And it has a really cool stand and all that kind of stuff. But new release for fall, those just launched.
Yay!
Wanted to smell it. It was kind of fun. That they have a really fun, that was a fun little perfume.
Yeah, I bet.
So experience. But okay. So we always have to ask, what do we want to do next?
I think last time, didn't we say we were going to do like a house next time? Like we were going to pick a house and then do a discovery set and kind of do what we did.
I love that.
With Ormond Jane.
Yes.
Yeah. I think let's do that. What house should we do?
Does anybody have a specific house they want us to do, or
any?
This was super fun. I want to smell this milky dragon. I just love how in the different seasons, how fun it was to how you just go from, but I think I might be going a little more earthy.
I love it.
I'm like
over to my dark side, just like I'm a little more open to rose.
Yes.
A little more, we're expanding.
We are. Okay, BDK, whatever you like. I'm sure we'll come up with we always are like, what do we want to do? But I'm open to whatever, but I think it'd be fun.
Well, if you're watching this after the live, comment down below too, so that we can, decide, kind of maybe put some names in a hat and pick it out and see what we're going to do next.
I love it.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much.